You brothers in?
Yo, this is James Lights Out Tony, the one and only. You are tuning into Philly Fight World. You see me? BAM!
What up? What up? Welcome back, everybody. Another session of Philly Fight World with me and the brother from another Rasul. We're here with today's guest, Sully. Why don't you introduce everybody to who we got on here today?
Yeah. Well, we've been privileged to have special guests today. Three guests with us. Um, First one, I don't think he needs any introduction. He's been around the fight game for many of years. The legend himself, um, star promoter, Mr. Murad Muhammad. And then we have fighter that Mr. Murad Muhammad is working with right now.
Mhm.
The young brother, his name is Darius Jackson. They call him the Hawk.
Oh yeah,
So
Hawk time.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Hawk time. There we go. And we have the privilege of his father joining us as well, Mr. Jackson Senior.
Actually, Renee.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a pleasure to have all of y'all here, man. We appreciate you all spending the time, to come chat with us a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, no doubt. It's
we
always fun
appreciate you.
getting everybody together and talk some boxing. So much in the world to talk about, past, present, and the future. So much to talk about these days. Sully, what do you want to hit on first?
We let everybody introduce themselves. I just gave everybody an introduction, but you all can introduce yourselves.
I'll give it to the father first.
Well, my name is Robert, but they call me Sheehan. Sheehan in the Bible means shepherd. I'm the guy that protects the flock and chases all the wolves and the dogs away. That's what Sheehan means in the Bible. I run a gym in Orlando. I've been at this one location for 30 years. I've trained numerous fighters, both male and female, young adults, kids, you name it. And this is my passion, and this is what I do.
Your
I think I think he did
Are you getting feedback,
wonderful.
Blake?
What'd you say? What'd you say, Sul?
Are you getting feedback? A lot of choppiness.
No, everything went through spine.
Okay, it was fine. Okay, all right.
Now that was the father, and the father is very modest, is because all them on the wall is his students. He got 60 children that he picks up at like about 7 in the morning, and he brings them to the gym and he feeds them because they can't be fed because the mothers does not have the money to do so. So then he takes them to school at 8 o'clock, and then he picks them up and brings them back to the school, and he teaches them martial art. He teaches them jujitsu, karate,
Boxing.
and boxing.
First,
And
not to cut you off, first, when they get back, they have to eat something and then do their homework. Upon completion of the homework, then they're able to partake. Excuse me for cutting it.
no, it's okay. It's about you. But the man next to him was started out at 3 years old. And they used to bring tough guys around, and they was older than he was. He was only 3. And we sent it around the world that when he was dressed to go into the ring, he ran across the ring, and the guy that was the toughest, he beat him up. Why? He never stopped. and never stopped. They just throwing the punches, and they had to stop him. And then he became a star. And then he was in martial art. He was a two-time black belt. And he told his father that he wanted to be a boxer. And his father started training him. And my God, what he did with his son was just unbelievable, sensational. And he fought a lot of people, a lot of fighters as being an amateur. And what happened with him is he finally wanted to turn pro, he told his dad. And he got on the scale to fight Bob Arum's fighter. Bob Arum looked him up and lied to the father and said, "You can't fight here in this casino because you have to be 21." He couldn't believe that. He didn't understand that. Nobody says that you can't fight in a casino because you're not 21 years old. And just so happened, I got a phone call, and he said, "I went with Arum, but I found out he's a liar." And I said, and I was told, "Go to Murad Muhammad." And so he came to me, and today he's 11 fights. He won each one of them, 7 knockouts.
Yeah.
And he just went into your town, and he fought 4 fighters in one day. But the one that he fought was outstanding Muslim. But he got him. He got him, and then he put you back in place as the top place that they fight. It's something that they do every year.
Team Combat League.
Yeah.
It's about 2.5 months long. It's a short season, and the concept is to develop teams to fight against other teams. Right now, they have like 10 cities going against each other, and the team is composed of males and females and several weight classes. And we're on the New York team.
Yeah.
Damn.
Representing New York this season, but
Right.
we having our fights in Philly. So every time we show up, we showing out.
Yeah, definitely. You all have a good team for New York.
Yeah.
You all have
We
a
won the
female
first season.
fighter that. Yeah, you all have a female fighter that I'm very familiar with. Stagey.
Stagey, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she trains down. Well, she was training down here in Philly for a while.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, she signed in with the New York team. What made you get to New York? What made you sign with the New York team?
We was with them for the first season when they started this out, and we won the first season. Once they created an Orlando team for the second season, we joined in for the Orlando team since we're already here. So joined in, and now that they have this third season, Orlando team is no more, and New York gave us that call right away. So and that was the first one I reached out, so we went for it. We went back.
Good. That's good.
It's always good, especially seeing Hawk here with his father. It reminds me of young Joseph, somebody Suli's real close with. The father's being involved in his son's life, much that needs to happen a lot in the Black community these days. I love to see it more and more happening.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about? Me and Rasul talk about boxing, just about every other day, if not every day, and we're talking about how boxing is now becoming. It's coming back, honestly, to me. I think it kind of went dead for a minute. I mean, you may think different than me, but I thought it was going dead for a minute around the end of the Mayweather era, and I think it's picking up now with all these fighters coming out. Guys are fighting the fights that they should fight. I mean, what do you guys think about it now? Especially now we got all these young fighters like your son and coming out now.
I think it's a good thing. I think what they're doing is galvanizing a lot of the fighters, and they're putting them out there. And again, with the help of social media, it was able to get them more views, built their reputation. and got everybody to understand who they are, where they're from, what they're doing, and where they're trying to go.
Yeah, I feel like this social media platform changed a whole lot. It changed a whole lot of things, how everything usually goes. A lot of the influencers who are coming up as well. There's influencers, a lot of famous people starting to get into the boxing. Know
Mm-hmm.
nothing about it, but that's bringing in a lot of new fans into it as well. So I think that's really nice.
It is a lot of athletes are getting into it, and you're right. Social media has a lot to play with it, and you can get a lot of stuff out now, especially boxers. They like other sports as well, just like other athletes like boxing.
Hmm.
I mean, you guys would know. How us old heads, we remember when it was a boxing match. That was the thing. Who's going over whose house to watch the pay-per-view fight? What are you
On
doing, man?
TV,
That was the thing, man.
ESPN, uh, Tuesday night fight, Friday night fight, um,
Yeah.
Saturday Wild World Sports,
They had
Mm-hmm.
everything.
ABC, NBC.
Boxing was
Mm-hmm.
everywhere.
Yep.
But now we're bringing it back. Time to show them
I'm
what time
happy.
it is.
Yeah.
It's
And,
hawk
and,
time.
and I'm happy you are. Me and Sully gonna be covering as much as we can. Our
Mhm.
schedule, Lord willing, our schedules provide. We do that, and we try to cover these guys. Love seeing these young guys coming out. Love seeing the older guys that's been around the game help promote young brothers, getting them up to the direction where they want to do with their life. I love seeing all this stuff.
Mhm.
I see you brought up.
What made you,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
let me ask you, I think Brother Murad touched on it a little bit. He said you guys were uh, pushed towards him. Um, guess who informed you of Mr. Murad? And I guess did you have any knowledge of him before you reached out to him?
I had knowledge of him from his past, and he had a very strong background. He trained a lot of different people. He promoted a lot of different people. His affiliation was impeccable. And we just started to do our research to see who would be a suitable person to guide Hawk on his quest to becoming a world champion. And we came up with Murad Muhammad.
That's good.
Not,
That's good.
not
And
just
Mr.
becoming a
And Mr.
world champion, but becoming the greatest there ever was.
Okay.
The greatest of
Greatest
all
of all
time.
of all
time,
Okay.
of
time.
all time.
Yeah.
That's some
Of
heavy
all time.
words.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How you wanted to say something before
Yeah.
Sully was speaking? What you want to say?
Yeah. You guys brought up Stacy earlier, and I want to know if you guys are gonna come out to the fights, because we're gonna be having a fight as well, this Saturday in Philly. I had to find out where, but when you look up on
We
Instagram,
got a flyer.
yeah,
We got the
yeah.
information.
So we got a flyer out, and want to make sure I bring a lot of fans to come watch me. I'm gonna put on a show.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Jeff.
Definitely.
Yeah, Jeff.
I'll try to get there.
That's good.
Sully's in the tri-state area. I'm down here in Tampa, so I'm gonna try to get up.
Oh, you our brother. You in
Yeah.
Tampa.
Yeah, I'm in Tampa.
You 90 minutes away.
Yep, right down here in Tampa, right in Clearwater, Florida.
I-4.
Yep,
I-4 West.
yep. Well, you said you picked him out with his resume and stuff. I mean, Brother Muhammad, why don't you speak on some of your history that you've been around? I mean, you see the names I got up there. You see the photos I got up there of you. Why don't you talk about some of these stories? Because, man, my family's been enriched in boxing. I love hearing any stories that you got.
Well, let me humbly submit that I started out with Muhammad Ali. I was a great martial artist. I beat 3 senseis because I used to fight heavyweight. I only weighed 160. I knew every nerve in the body. When you hit the nerve, you touch the brain. So I destroyed them in New York, and just so happened his father was a great martial artist. So we both come out of New York, and I used to fight New York. I used to fight heavyweight. So when Muhammad Ali said, "Man, you beat 3 senseis," I said, "One night." He said, "You coming with me?" And I was 14 years old. So I used to protect his life for 12 years. I went to 48 states. And I said to Ali and Murad Muhammad, I want to be a promoter. I was the youngest promoter in the world, youngest, 21 years old. I put boxing into HBO. I created HBO. I created Showtime. I got all the networks, and I don't do boxing. I do ratings. 550 million people watches me. That's where I made my money. Not King, not Aaron. They was stealing. They was robbing. But the key factor why we ain't fighting, because y'all can fight, but you can't sell a damn ticket. So that's why they stop you. None of the fighters. I got the key to the city of your state. I took he was named the White Braxton out of jail, and then I took him into jail. That's when I won the champ. He won the title, and then he wanted to come with me, and so of course I made him the world champion. Saad Muhammad, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, Kwawi Muhammad, Larry Holmes, all of them come to me. Razor Reddick, who all came to me. I had 50 world champions, 80 world contenders, and most of my fighters are millionaires because I was able to pay them the money. So then Roy Jones Jr. came to me. But I didn't want to do anything in Miami, in Florida. But he talked me into it. And I said, no, I don't do fights. I come home and I rest, and then I go back to my office in New York. So what happened is that Roy decided that he wasn't getting paid. He was only getting $3 million. So I said, well, what do you want me to do? Now, me and him had the same lawyer, but they was Jewish. They the one who took him through the amateurs and so forth and so on. So he said, Murad. I said, I'm not a lawyer, Roy. He said, yeah, but you know how to talk to those white folks. I need you to get me some more money. I said, how am I get you out the contract and I'm not a lawyer? He said, but Murad, you got all them damn Jews. Look what you did for ABC, CBS, USA, Showtime, all of these people that you have done so well with. So I said, well, what do you want me to do? He said, call a press conference. He said, well, we're going to do it in Miami. Nope, you got to go to New York. That's where it's at. So he went to Basketball City because he loves basketball. And he went to Basketball City. So Don King gave him $1 million. His best friend, who I made world champ, Smoke Gaynor, and Smoke Gaynor wouldn't take the money. He turned Don King off because that was a lot of money. So he turned Don off. Then Magic Johnson just got his license that day. So everybody thought it was going to be Magic Johnson. So then he came on to speak, and he said, I need someone with longevity. The great player went out the business because why? He just got his license, Magic Johnson. So he said, Don King, whoa, that went out the window. There ain't no honesty, integrity. So when they said Murad Muhammad, they all didn't boo me, but they said, whoa, like, what the hell is this young man got Roy Jones Jr., who's doing wonderful for him.
Is everything all right?
So when I finally came in, I was with HBO for 11 years.
How's everything going on you guys' part?
So what went on, can you hear me? So what went on, Roy Jones Jr., I told the
Can you guys hear?
Can you hear us?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
We can't hear you guys.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
You're muted right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, I can hear you, Brother Murad.
Okay, we can hear you now.
You hear? Okay.
All right, so what happened? So I said to Seth Abraham, I said, Luda Bella, I don't like him. He got a big lip because he was cursing Roy out. Said he owes 2 more years and
It
he
went
ain't
quiet
getting
again.
away.
Yeah.
So I said, no
I'm
problem.
pretty sure they're going on mute.
I
Oh,
said, this is what I want to do. I said, give me Roy,
Just reconnecting.
and he's a very beautiful Bentley, Rolls Royce. I said, but he ain't got no gasoline. He said, well, what do you want, Murad? You've been doing good here. So what you want to do? I said, give me $5 million and I'll make him the greatest fighter ever came to HBO. Boom, he gave it to me. I took him to 6 million. I took him to 7 million. I took him to 8 million. I took him to 9 million. I took him to 10 times. He was the highest paid fighter because he listens. He does everything. You can't call him. You call me. You can't call him. All my fighters, you can't call because if they start talking money, they're going to mess up and they'll curse you out in a minute. Now they lost the deal. So I've always handled all my fighters. Almost 80 fighters I have. All of them made a great deal of money off me. But the point I'm saying to you is that when I shocked the whole boxing world, I came up with $49.95. No, white boys only wanted to give me 22. I sell out every arena in this country, including your town. That's why I got the key to the city. My name was next to the Globetrotters in the Spectrum. That's when I brought in Saad Muhammad and Kwawi. He changed his name to Kwawi. And that was a major, major fight. That's when they gave me the key to the city. But I do boxing there, but I haven't came back because there was a white boy there that put all y'all together, beating up each other. The South fighting the West fighting all. So I said, oh, I'm getting y'all out of there. And that's why Joe Frazier came with me with all of his children. All of you came to me. I had some great fighters that wanted to save themselves and get the hell away from that white boy that was having, it's time you got to the fight for the title, you was all messed up. So I had to stop that. I wanted to stop that. So I did do that. That's why I have license with your formal in perpetuity, meaning I have my license from that day all the way to the day. However, I said, Roy, you want to be heavyweight champ of the world? He said, yes. He only talks for 3 minutes. He don't ever talk a long story. 3 minutes. Yes, I'll do it. He said, so everybody said, you ain't getting no John Louise. That's Don King. I said, don't tell me you ain't God. You can't tell me what to do. Only thing beats a failure is a try. So Don King didn't want like Roy, so he didn't want it. But me and him, his wife I just call her mother. I used to sleep in the house. So Don King says, I ain't giving it to Roy. I hate Roy. I said, what do I do with the price of beans, Donald? So I said, I'll take this fight. So I gave him $10 million to fight Roy Jones Jr. He said no. So I called John Louise. And I said, John Louise, how much you make with Don King? 500,000. I said, I'll give you 10 million. 10 million? Who I'm gonna fight? Roy Jones Jr. I said, you're gonna fight Roy. He said, now in his mind, Roy was a middleweight. The hell a middleweight gonna beat a heavyweight? And he's a heavyweight. So he says to me, Murad, I'll fight him. I said, yeah, but call a press conference and tell him that Don King got you restraint of trade. Can you write that down? Restraint of trade. And he's losing 10 million. Murad Muhammad is giving me $10 million. I said, go announce it. He did. So the next day, me and him going to breakfast, and I went into the suite, and he said to me, that damn no good bastard who I made money for, and bing, bing, bing. I said, what's wrong, dog? He said he told the press that I'm stealing his money and he's going to take me to court. I said, okay, I'm going to catch a jet and go back home. He said, where you going? I said, you ain't going to win in that courtroom. That look like so white. That boy look white. And you black. and you're a felon. So you think you're gonna win? I said, okay, I'm out of here. I'll do it myself. We'll see you in the courtroom. Deal. You got it. And he was hot with me. He got, and Roy beat the hell out of John Louise. And that's how we did something never been done in the history of boxing, but 117 years ago.
Wow.
That's why I made him. I made him a multi-millionaire, a billionaire. All my fighters have a love for me because I know this game. Y'all are being whipped. Y'all being held as cause. And nobody ever sold a ticket in my life with my fighters. I sell out all my arenas. Every arena I've been in. 40 states I have my license. Why? Because I took Pacquiao, and I caught him on the floor in the Philippines. And he got knocked out twice. Why? Nobody wanted him. But I saw something in him. That's the martial art. When I saw something in him, I said, come on, I'm going to give you $10,000. And I brought Golden Boy back into the business. That's another long story. So it was my fight. I did the whole fight in Las Vegas. But what happened, Pacquiao, my wife was at the IBF, long story. And so I called her and I said, guess what? The guy pulled out of the fight, the number one guy. He knocked out so many people, 6 people. And my fighter, Smoke Gainer, said, let me tell you what you're going to do to Pacquiao when I got Pacquiao into the fight. So I only was giving them $100,000. I was giving $10,000. I said, so he says, Murad, you gonna let us fight this guy who won all these fights? I said, he's knocking everybody out. I said, but I'm telling you right now, you can beat him. I said, do what you learn. You can beat him. And stick to where you come from. So he says, well, how much I'm gonna get now to fight this tough guy? I said, 100,000. And Brother Smoke Gainer said, he's gonna beat you up, then he's gonna play with you, and then he's gonna knock you out. I said, Smoke, we're gonna hit him, and he ain't gonna see the punch. He ain't not gonna see the punch. In the first round, that boy was on HBO 6 times, beating up everybody. And we broke his nose. It was bleeding like crazy in the first round. The second round, we dropped him. But when they dropped him, Cortez says, he slipped. But he was counting, and the boy couldn't get up. So Smoke turned to me and said, damn,
They come up with all kinds of excuses.
He said, what did he hit him with? I said, martial arts just don't hit you. We can break a brick. We can break a board with just touching you and just take an inch away. That punch will break your bones. We got the next Muhammad Ali. Young boy.
All kind.
Of all time.
Of all kind.
Inshallah, I will make this man with the will of God. I'm going to make this man not only a millionaire, not only making millions now. I got the FBI's with me, and they pay my fighters, so nobody could ever say I don't pay my fighters. I pay my fighters. All my fighters get paid. And the problem y'all have, you're all separated. You're all separate. We should take over boxing in this whole country. I don't like what they're doing overseas. If I go and talk about what they did to Mayweather, this is a new world that they're trying to get us out because we can't sell a damn ticket. In all these years of 50 years, I've never told my fighters to sell a ticket. What do you need? I need 10 tickets. Okay, I gave it to you. What do you need? I need 5 tickets. Okay, I get it to you. All my fighters never sold a ticket. And I did 1,000 fights. 1,000 fights. Now just listen. 1,000 fights.
That's
And
a
I
lot of
never had a
fights. Yeah.
cancellation in my whole career. Never.
Mm.
That's why they just offered me $100 million to do my life story. And the FBI brought it to me. And I said to him, nobody gives you $100,000 unless they're gonna make $1 billion. And that's what they do to us. They take the money. I gave $1 million to Jay-Z and DNX. I gave him $1 million and the Rough Riders. And I went and they said, Murad, notice I sold out Madison Square Garden. That's why they love me in Madison Square Garden. So I got $1 million from Madison Square Garden, $1 million from HBO. And they say you cannot do the sound bites. Oh, what the hell sound bites is? So he said, no, I'm telling you that DNX and them cannot do the sound bites. So I said, all right, I'll go to Def Jam and I'll ask him. He said, what are you going to go to him for? I said, I'm going to him because he knows all about him. And those white folks sit there. Know what they said? This is how they talk about you all. He said, we gave him $100 million. I said, so what? You gave him $100 million. We own him. They don't own no rights. That's why you see everything going on right now. You're just looking. You see Jay-Z's in trouble. This one's in trouble. This one is telling on everybody because they paying them to tell. You're going to go to jail or you're going to tell. And we'll give you a misdemeanor. But if you don't tell the truth, you're going to jail. You get a felony.
Wow.
This is what they're doing to us.
That's coercion. That's straight coercion.
And all I'm saying why I came on this show is because I love Philadelphia. I love Philadelphia. I did so much in Philadelphia, it's unbelievable. But I did it for you all to get y'all the hell away from that damn Jew boy. And so what's happening now, when you, I'll tell you, I'm telling you that there's 2 fighters just recently, as y'all say. One is, he's Crawford. So Crawford fought a fight and he sold 10 tickets. That boy sold 22,000 seats. Only was 10 seats left. That's what he sold. He beat that boy so bad it wasn't a rematch. And here come another young boy, just come into the business. And he fought and beat the hell of, he only sold 5 tickets. But the Latino boy, Bob Brown was hot with both of them. The Latino boy sold all the tickets. So here come the black man hitting you in the first round like I did with Razor. We knocked out 15 15 bouts in Madison Square Garden, in Conseco Fieldhouse. We was knocking them out in the first round, until we got to a kid named Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher dropped us in the first round. I'm hollering, hold on to the policeman come. Hold on to the police. Grab that referee. Don't let him go. Don't let him go. So now we're wasting time. I know all the tricks. So then he threw the punch, and Martin jumped over the ropes, and this is a grown man, and picked him up and carried him to the ring. Wouldn't let him take no steps. And then Dr. Freddie Pacheco, I got all of them. Dr. Freddie Pacheco said, there's bombs and shooting in South Carolina. And so we knocked them out cold in the 4th round. That's the only one that went that long until we went into Madison Square Garden with one hand. And I put him in Madison Square Garden, and he used to say, "This is a Timex." No, he didn't say Timex. Rolex, but it wasn't a Rolex. All he wore was a Timex. So the fight before the fight, he only had one hand. I said, "All right, here's a box." He took it loose. Then another box, took it loose. Another one, take it loose. Another one, got down to a little box, opened it up, and he started crying because he had a bezel
It's,
Rolls Royce, bezel watch. That watch cost $20,000. He said,
is this in
"Murad, you know,
Dubai? Where was this
20,000.
at?
That's the
This is
Rolex."
in Dubai?
Yeah, no, that wasn't in Dubai. That was in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, Madison Square Garden. Okay.
And so I sold out the garden so much that they used to call me the only one that brought money to the garden. Anyway, so what happened? So we fought Dokes, Michael Dokes, the great Michael Dokes. So we were fighting Dokes. And so I gave him that bezel watch with all the diamonds. He started crying. Not that he's a sissy. He was hurt that he didn't win. How do you give somebody a Rolex watch that don't win? I
What's
said,
the
"Son, you fight
justification?
with one hand.
Yeah.
You fight with one hand, you're a winner to me." And he was beating us in the third, going into the third round. And then he said, "The hell with this hand." So he started throwing the punch in the fourth round. And he came back and we thought he killed Dokes. He laid there for 20 minutes out. That's what makes my fighters. My fighters, I don't teach, I touches your nature. I only speak to your nature because your intellect is confused, like my internet. But when you talk to a man's nature, you drop a seed. We should control every part of the East Coast, even basketball players, football players. This man, I told him, I says, the greatest thing why I love him today, I love his wife. His wife is a martial art, a black belt. But they run that big conglomerate gym. It's got to be worth $1 million. For you to take care of children and feed them and then train them and teach them. Let me say this to you, and this is why I came on this radio. Because I talk to the world. I got 2 billion people follows me. Now just think about 2 billion. 2 billion. So I talk to all the religious people. They all love boxing. It's called The Best Man Win. Not the cheater, not the conner, not the tricker, not the one that put what do you call it, cast in your hand. I can get, I beat Mayweather. I'm not Mayweather. Forget Mayweather. I beat all them jokers that Bob Arum had. All them jokers that Don King had. I only did 5 with him. All of them was my fighters. All the rest of them was my fighters. But they couldn't make money, so I had to give them half of my money so you can come out there with $1 million. I'm a freak. I'm not a freak. What I do is help people to be able to take care of their family. But I don't want nothing that you do dirty. Everything you do, you have to be clean. And one day, like George Foreman was my fighter. I'm the one who brought him back. He had no money. He had nothing. I went and talked to him and said, "Man, you can take care of your because he was preaching. He thought he saw Jesus when he got beat by Jimmy Young. That's what messed him up. But I brought him back. That's what I do. I go back and talk to my fighters. So I always bring you back. So what it is, it's a real world out there, brothers. And they don't want us. They do all kinds of tricks, but I know the tricks. I know how to get them. So I'm saying to you, I'm using this young man because he got skills. When he fought that fight in the Dominican Republic, that boy was a puncher. He never was dropped, and he fought undefeated fighters. And the man fought 22 fights. I said, bring him. And we brought him. And that boy, I mean, Hawk must have hit him about 25 times in the head. Now it's not even, he didn't even stop. He was beating him up to the head. So I'm saying, not in the head, man. Go to the body. Go to the body. And so he dropped him the first time in the history. Dropped him the second time. The second time in the history. Dropped him the third time. That young man got on national TV and said, ain't nobody punches hard as him. That man tore my body up. He is the next world champion. Now, look, you don't make people talk like that. That man told the truth because when he didn't fall, he was running. He was running, but he could fight. That boy could fight. So now they love him there. So he comes back and fight their number one fighter. And they booing Hawk. They boo him right back there in that country. They booing Hawk. So when Hawk got booed, 5th round, Hawk beat the hell out of him.
And they said, what time is it?
He whooped that boy so bad that they all love him. He's supposed to go get his dinner because, you know, after you fight, you're going to eat. They wouldn't let him go nowhere. You can fight. They all love him over there now. And guess what he says to the world? He said, come on, tell me what you're going to do next. I call Howard Cosell. What are you going to do next? The way you punch, the way you move your legs, and the way how you master over here and over there, and you switches your hand that like you ain't got no left hand, right hand. Well, that comes from martial art. So he says, I would like to bring the brothers from Haiti to merge with all my brothers that's from these countries. They all are what we call them. They come from all any they come from all the country. These men, these boys that fight, that's good fighters. They come from all kinds of places, but they all love each other. So they didn't like the Haitians. Them men did not like the Haitians. And he said to the world, my job is to bring us together as brothers. So
unity. He want to promote unity among the cultures, among the world, ethnicity. He want to bring them all together.
And the profound words.
And
profound words for somebody so young.
Yeah, wait, but let me tell you what the guy says. He says, my God, he's Muhammad Ali. That's how he talks. He's a very educated young man. Very, very educated. But more important, his education is his mother. His mother, I'll bring her because she trains these girls. And she's the one that babies them when Pop gives them a little hell to be able to do what they're supposed to do because they say their knuckles hurt. And she said, oh, it's okay. So they like father and son, Adam and Eve. See, Adam ain't leaving Eve, and Eve ain't leaving Adam.
Let me see if I can find a charger.
So this is how they are.
Yeah, let me gotta find a charger. My phone's about to die.
So the mother came to me and said, I want to talk to you by yourself. I know I'm going to get beat up now. No woman wants to talk. And that's her baby. He's the baby of the family. So she
Pleasant enough all there.
So she says to me, she says, Murad, I looked you up. You in every book. You in every library. You in every app. that's out there. How did you do that? I don't know how you did that. So when I said, well, I said, I have a gift. My partner is Allah. I don't have partners. So I said, I talked to Allah. And she says, oh my God, that's Hawk. I said, that's Hawk? She says, yeah, he's a thinker.
Oh,
He loves his daddy. I mean, he ain't never leaving his daddy. He loves his daddy. He said, but he thinks on his own. He tells his father what he's going to do. He knows who he can beat, and no one can beat him. So he talks like that on his own. So his dad knows that this man got a gift. So he says, okay, let's go have fun. Now, you don't tell no fighter that.
yeah.
You don't tell no fighter, you let's go have fun. You want to have fun, son? Yes, I want to have fun. So we 11-0. And we're getting ready to shock the whole entire boxing world. And I'm not just saying that because I brought the bulletproof vest for all the state troopers. Why we got 500 people carries weapons now that day, because why? I touched their heart and they allowed me to come in there. So I took over Rawway State Prison. Rawway State Prison made millions of dollars off of me. But King and Aram couldn't come to that prison because why? I owned it in perpetuity. And that's how I made Rawway State Prison a sensation, though. A man got 2 murder cases, and I made him one of the greatest fighters ever in the history in any prison system. That's me. But that's just 1% of me. I'm saying this, I would like you all to be one, and we will take over everything. It's easy, it's simple. Do you know how many black men are in Philadelphia? Well, where are we? Where are we? Isn't that amazing? There's thousands. So how could you not make money? You got thousands of people that's coming to the, now you get greedy, this is what you have to do. You got to give back. And who you give it to? The poor ones first. 501c3 corporation. They don't even know what the hell that means. That means we do it together. We run our own arena, and you see that. I sent it to you, brother. I sent it to you. Rasul, I sent it to you, and you saw his gym. You ain't never, ever seen a gym with a whole wall of champions. Now, who is he? Bob Arum don't do that. Don King doesn't do that. And a few trainers do it. This man trains from 3-year-old to 5 years old to 7 years old to 8 years old, and they come from the ghetto where they beat you up. But guess what? They don't mess with his gym. Them little girls will whoop your tail. You think about touching them. You think about hitting them. You think about being a bully. They don't mess with him. Now, all of them comes down there. He invites all of them down there to fight. They be boxing and they having fun and money is being made because they don't do that at his arena. They can't come there and play no game. They can't come in there and do anything off the hook. All he got to do is walk inside and say, you touched her. And these are women with 7 years old with a green belt. She's moving to become a black belt by the time she gets 12 years old. This is what we're supposed to do, is to give back. We don't do it. All we got to do is change. All you got to do is put me 1,000 people in the room, and I'll show you all to make money.
And I definitely watched that video you sent me, and you have a beautiful gym.
Thank
How
you.
long has your gym been open? When did you?
Almost 30 years, 1995.
Wow. Okay, that's good. And I guess do you know how many children has come through that gym doors?
1,000.
Thousands.
Thousands.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's
that's. Let me
30
tell you,
years.
man.
30
Let me
years.
show you. And I'm sure you're impacting a lot of young lives. A
I
lot of
believe
young
so,
lives.
yeah.
and that's what
You
matters
don't.
right there.
Yeah, and you as a child, as we get older, you don't forget things like that.
Oh,
You know what I mean? You don't forget those places that you were allowed to enter, that you had fun as a child. You know, had fun with, and those things are important in
Correct.
the development of children, man. So
Correct.
hats off to you, brother, man.
Thank you.
absolutely.
Continue that, man. Yeah, continue that. And it's a shame because we, as in black men, we don't get the praises that we deserve for doing things like that.
I got a
And
fun
you're
fact.
definitely a marker. Yeah, you're definitely, you need to be saluted. So, brother, salute
Thank
to
you.
you, and continue doing what you're doing, and it shows with your son.
Yeah.
Let me
So
tell you, you're right, brother. Let me say this again. I want to say this. When I saw that gym, and he took a walk through that gym, I wasn't there. I seen him, and I said to him, I said, you touched my spirit, not my intellect. You touched my spirit, and I realized that look what you're doing for the children. And look now he's a great martial artist himself, but what I'm saying is he trained these children, fed these children, and they come in there crying. The young lady, she had all tattoos on her. And I said, well, what is she crying about? Because her baby grew up to be educated, and look what and she's crying. She's literally crying. I said, whoa. I said, you need to take that, because you see these women that comes there that don't have money, and some of them can't pay nothing, but he feeds them. Can you imagine we did this around the country?
Mhm.
That
I
we
got it.
did this around the country, we would have basketball players, football players. Ain't that
All over the
something? We
place. Yeah.
raised them, we play with them, we
Right.
with their parents, but it goes to
Educate
white
them.
folks.
Yeah.
You give them to
Hmm.
white folks. You send them to white folks, and you let white folks take them over. Ain't
Right.
no way in the hell the gift that God has given us. That look
Um,
what I've done. Now I was a martial art because I used to take care of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad too. So I did that for 27 Sundays. I used to drive to Chicago every week. But I learned from him to give back. You have to give back. Because when you give, God gives you 1,000 to 1. There's no individual, there's no man, no on planet will give you 1,000 to 1. But it's not 1,000 to 1 in the sense of money. It gets you in paradise. This is why we are successful. We was 3/5 of a human being. 3/5. I'm an imam. I teach around the world. 3/5 of a human being. But our fathers came here, doctors, lawyers, engineers. They one who built this country. So the ancestors pray, oh Lord, we'll suffer the bounds of suffering, but go take care of my offspring. See, they were praying about us. We was 3/5 of a human being. Children, babies was raped. They doing the same thing today. But what happened? We don't pray for them when we go to sleep. We
Mm-mm.
don't even think about them. Not that you don't. No one taught you how to pray back to your ancestors going into paradise.
Mm-hmm.
But look what we doing now. We speak the language. We educated. We got doctorate degrees. We got this. We got that. Allah gave it back to us because He said, "You think you're gonna take my off my what He calls the Khalifa? If you're gonna take care of you're gonna hurt the Khalifa. Watch what I do." And that's how we speaking their language. And now we speaking their language, and here come people around us. And when they come around us, they talk in Arabic. Well, what the hell we want to know about Arabic? the men from the street said, well, I don't want to do this no more. I want to change my whole entire life. So now we speak English distinctly. But here they come from around the world and speaks better than English than us. That's why they got all the jobs.
Yeah.
What we were speaking. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, what did you just say? I'm trying to learn what you learned, but you're telling me somebody else's language. Teach them in the school. You want to teach them Arabic? Go ahead. Tell them to go to school. But when you talk to a young man or older man, he don't know what the hell you just said.
Well, we have a young man who has, come through that struggle, of course, and Hawk. I guess it's just an honor to talk to you and speak to you and have you here with us because you've come, of course, from your father into the development through the gym that your father has created, to help young African American youths. So how does it feel to be in your position now? Do you feel there's a something that you have to give back to the community?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Since growing up in this environment, seeing how much they helped and poured out into the youth and seeing how they were able to get older and they come back. So a lot of them come back and they thank my dad and my mom for pouring into them, but their own parents or their guardians weren't able to pour into them or help out. So a lot of times they come back, they thankful for that, and I love that feeling. Uh, and that's what I'm doing right now with the youth. I'm teaching them, I'm tutoring them, teaching them, is showing them the right and I'm showing them the right path, showing them that we can
That's
make it
good.
out. Yeah,
And that's excellent because first of all, it's always good. And I've always said this, I always had conversations where it's good to have young people as leaders
yeah,
because and like yourself,
People
because
can relate.
you have
yeah,
people
It's
that's younger
relative.
than you, right? And they can see you more, they
They can
could hear
identify.
you exactly more than
Mhm.
they can someone who's a
Right.
little bit older.
yeah.
Right.
So you're in a
Right.
position, man,
Right.
and of course it's not even by choice. You're in a position you have to do that.
Have to, absolutely.
You have to,
It,
yeah. That's a
Yep.
responsibility of you.
Yep.
You
it's
Yep.
good too. Love
yes,
that I'm
yes.
in this
Let me
position as
tell
well.
you something. Here's a young lady came to me. She's not old at all. She thinks about 35 years old. I said, is that you? You was a black belt? She said, yeah. All the presidents, everybody comes to me and teaches. That's his daughter. She's a
Mm.
great martial artist. She didn't turn to be a boxer, but if you say the wrong thing to her, she's a black belt. And I
Tiger
said,
lady.
Yeah,
you so pretty. And she said, I said, she said, no, they open up their mouth and say the wrong thing, they're going to get it. But if they speak well, you know. And I said, that's your picture, huh? She was younger when she got her black belt.
Yeah.
So he got about 5 girls. He got about another 3 or 4 boys. But the baby is sitting next to you.
yeah,
That's
yep.
the gift. You know how
And he just turned 21.
Yeah, just got
uh,
21.
Wow, wow.
A
he
couple days
just
Good
ago.
turned it
age.
2 days
Yeah,
ago, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
2 days ago he turned it.
yeah,
That's
But
that's good
but
age.
but this is good. All I came on for you all. I don't need to be on the radio, but I want to make this radio large because
yeah,
I'm going to send it. He give it to me. It's going around the world. That's how
Right.
you're James Brown. I used to say it to the white folks. Open the door, I'll get it myself. All I need them to do is open the door, and them Jews open the door for me. Not Inish Jews, is the ones that follow Abraham. But I say always reach back when that door is open. So the brother said, "Man, you made $1 million with me. You made $1 million for me. I'm doing good at at HBO. I said, well, he said, Murad, what could I do for you? I said, when you open that door, reach back and grab another brother. And he did so. That's why that black man started making real money. Because why? He pulled the other brother in. That's what you're supposed to do. The door is open.
Help each other out.
So let's pull it. Let's bring them. And I'm not here to talk to your intellect. And I told Hawk, I'm going to leave you with this. I said, Hawk, one day a gentleman going to say to you or a woman, you ain't no Muslim. And I said to him, and he got it real quick.
Yeah.
He says, I said, Muslim is the nature of the human being. The Muslim is the nature of the dog, the cat, the rat, the bees, the birds. Everything in creation is the will of God, including the stars, the moon, the sun, your mother. They Muslim. So I told 2,000 people in church, I talks to the churches, they love me. And I said, all of you who submit to the will of God, stand up. They jumped up. Why? Because they submit to the will of God. I said, I took 7 minutes to get that out of you. All I took is 1 minute. What do you mean you take 1 minute? I'm Muslim. That's it. It took me 1 second. I'm Muslim. Our nature is Muslim, not your religion. It's a way of life. So that's why we love every person that has a religion. That's Islam. We love them all. We will fight for them all. You ain't going to come in there and kill them or nothing like that. That's what we do. So our way of life is what? Our appetite. It guides you against your appetite. But your nature, Satan cannot touch it. The Ku Klux Klan is a Muslim. He just chose to be a killer. The man that sells drugs and he chose to be a drug addict. He was drugged to be a sissy. He was drugged to be this. But you can't bother him. That's what he chose, not God. He chose it. So it's called, I always say, here you're going to catch the hell. So the man goes to jail for 9 years. He goes to jail for 20 years. He goes to jail for 60 years. Temporarily heaven from permanent hell. But while he's there, he had to clean up like Malcolm. Malcolm was a pimp. And if he was selling black women, he would have been a year. But he sold white women. They gave him 11 years. And when he came into that prison, they told him to take that conch out your hair. They told him to do this, and they put him in the library and gave him a book called the dictionary. And his job was to learn everything in that dictionary. That's why he speaks so well. He's an excellent speaker. And then the Honorable Muhammad loved him like a son. So isn't this something? Just think about it, gentlemen. Here it is. They put us as killing him. The brothers went to jail and was in jail 2 weeks before they put him in as killing Malcolm. But we learned that you don't tell on a brother. And then the Imam Walasi Muhammad comes in and says, don't do that. Go tell the truth and get out of this prison. They did get out of the prison, and they had to give him $30,000 because they locked him up. We didn't know that. 2 or 3 days they was in jail. So how did they kill Malcolm? Now, okay, now here come brothers. Get out of my pocket. And they shot Malcolm straight. Now the people don't like us. They say that we was killers. We killed Malcolm. They killed Farrakhan. They found out that that was blanks. It wasn't real. And now common sense says those 5 brothers that loved the Honorable Elijah Muhammad would have turned up to the balcony and shot all of them. You think they was crazy? Those was blanks. So now the mother, the sister the daughter found out that the bullets came from the balcony. Now they suing them for $1 billion because it was all a lie. That's how they get us.
That's evil.
Yeah.
We
Well,
didn't touch Malcolm. We love Malcolm. We didn't touch him. He didn't never speak Quran because he only knew the English language. That's why he spoke so well. That's why he went to all these colleges. But he asked the imam, I was there, he asked the imam, tell your father, let me speak their language. And he beats him up. I mean, he beats him up terribly. But we didn't touch him. We didn't do this. But now they love us. Now the family finally love us because they're getting ready to make $1 billion. They got the right lawyer that's fighting them right now.
That's good.
Wow.
So
Justice
if you
will be
don't,
served.
Yeah,
if you
we gotta
don't
wrap
teach
this up
that,
soon.
What
you
you got,
don't
Sully?
teach
Brother
it.
Rock, we
Yes.
gotta wrap this up soon. But
Go ahead.
let's ask Brother
Oh,
Hawk. Brother
Hey,
Hawk a few more questions about
okay.
him, and then we'll try to wrap it up soon because we've been on
yeah, it's like
on
an
this
hour.
about over an hour
Poor
already.
Pops is fighting to sleep. Of course, with the new fighters, who do you like in today's box? You follow any boxers now that you compare yourself
uh,
to or anything?
to follow any of the boxers that are out right now,
Yeah,
Yeah.
or are you asking like who's my favorite fighter?
either one, whatever.
Um, as of right now in this generation, I really like Terrence Crawford. Loves the way that he thinks and how strong his mind is, not just in the ring but outside the ring as well. Like he's able to show that nothing could really get to him, and I think that's nice. It's really nice in the ring as well. Like he shows like the determination, and no matter what, he'll stick through the game plan. If he has to change the game plan to, no matter what, at the end of the day, the game plan is to win. He's gonna win. He's gonna find a way, and I feel like as well. That's how I. That's how I fight as well. I'm gonna find a way. It's hard,
Gotcha.
and that's why they call me the Hawk too. I'm the Hawk. I soar over
It's,
everything. I get to see everything. So once I find out what's that thing that I see, I swoop down and I get it.
Jump on it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
we mentioned talking about Madison Square Garden a little while ago. There's a fight coming up May 2nd. Garcia coming out of his suspension to fight Romero. Who you got in that fight?
Uh, I would say it goes either way, either or. They're both
Mhm.
they're both pretty talented, but uh, not really my partake in. I wouldn't choose either or for that fight.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's very it plays away because what's happening now, because of course me and Rasul just went to the unification fight with Boots and Stanionis, of course, down there in Atlantic City. And of course, Garcia is represented by De La Hoya, and De La Hoya's, of course, they're talking about possibly fighting Boots if Garcia, beats Romero. Would that be a fight you'd be interested in seeing? How do you think that would turn out?
The one with
Boots
Boots
Garcia.
and Garcia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It'd be
Oh,
a
yeah.
big
I'll
fight.
watch that fight. Yeah, I'll watch that fight. I really like the way Boots fight as well. It's very intellectual when it comes to being in the ring and changing up the game plan as well. Like you can see that he has a lot of different styles while he's in the ring as well. So love that he's able to he changes it up from moving around to being adapting. Very good, very well at adapting to his opponents.
Yeah, Boots is one of the rare fighters that he could switch to southpaw without you even noticing in the match, which he did against Stanionis. He changed up several things in that fight. Sully, you got anything for him?
Yeah. You said Crawford was one of your favorites right now.
Yeah.
I guess who would if you went all time favorites? Who would those be?
I have to say the greatest. The greatest. Muhammad
Ali.
Ali. Muhammad Ali, yes. I just find him as my idol, actually. Like the way he portrayed himself outside of the ring. I feel like a lot of times people love like fighters inside the ring, but the way come on, the
There's
people
a
love
battle
him.
on both ends,
Yeah,
right?
I was about to say the people loved him. He united people, and that's what I want to do as well. So why not? Why can't you love him? He did more than
Yeah,
what was inside the ring.
you've said that a few times
Yeah,
today. I guess
yeah.
that's very important to you, uniting people and
Uh-huh.
I guess representing, of course, yourself well and your
Yeah.
family, of course. That's very important to you.
Yes. Absolutely. My whole life, that's pretty much what's been happening. Been uniting everybody, keeping them all together. All these the students that are coming in, who I'm teaching, who I'm training, I'm bringing them into my family, and I'm growing it as well, growing the dynamic family, and helping everybody on achieving greatness as well as achieving greatness in myself and
That's
showing the
good.
world. Yeah,
That's good. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you, man. So
yeah.
I'm
Yep.
gonna look for some tickets and try to get out to that fight.
Oh yeah. Hey man, you should have seen
Definitely.
the last one. I think I posted a couple videos too up on my Instagram.
Talk,
Yeah, I seen them.
talk too
I
much.
checked
Talk
them
too much,
out,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was good. You did your thing in that fight, man.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, brother Murad shared those videos. That video, I said, "Wow, this brother do got some skills."
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
And brother Murad, he's mentioned your name to me a few times, and it was good to kind of match up, with the name, with the videos, and seeing
Yeah.
you, and then
Yeah.
going to your Instagram and seeing you work, man. And then, of course, today meeting your father. So
right.
I'm glad, I finally got the chance to talk to
Oh
you
yeah.
both, man. It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure. It's
Yeah.
been
Appreciate
a
it.
He's
pleasure.
been here from the start. So definitely not leaving.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
man. Salute to you, Dad. Salute to you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And continue to do the work that you're doing with your son, of course, and with the community, man. That's special,
Absolutely.
man. We need more of you in this world.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
100%. If
We need
not you, then who?
all the support we could get.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, Sully, got any final words before we get out of here?
Um, it's been a pleasure.
Yes.
It's been a
Same.
pleasure. It's always a pleasure talking to Mr. Murad. Um, he's a walking history book, man. Every time,
Definitely.
anything you want to know about
You know,
boxing, he's seen it. He's been there. So it's always a pleasure talking to him, and it was a pleasure talking to both of you.
Same.
Absolutely.
Follow
Thank
you,
you. It was a pleasure
yeah,
talking to
follow
you
you,
guys as
man,
well.
and we're going to continue to follow you, man, and try to support you, and whatever we can do, that's what we'll
I
do.
appreciate it. Thank you.
all right.
Yep.
How about
All
you,
right,
Blake?
guys. Man,
How
that was
about you?
just fun. Just hearing the history and watching this young guy get his career going, and he's got his head on straight. He's got goals. He's setting it. I mean, there's lots been said today, especially about the history of our culture and the history of everything. We could talk about that for hours and on end. But like I said, if you don't do it, who else is going to do it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And you know what? A lot of people get discouraged by when you try to do things and you feel like it's not going anywhere. But I mean, that's just negativity trying to stop you. And you just got to
Right.
keep pushing those things.
Let's keep pushing
It's
forward.
easy. It's easy to quit, man. It's really easy to
Mhm.
quit, and it's hard to keep going. And like I said, just keep doing what you're doing. And Russell will be around, keep checking your fights out, supporting when you can. It's just what we love to do, and we're gonna do it.
All right.
So hopefully we get you guys on again and talk soon.
Hey,
And,
you guys could tune in on the next fight.
yeah. When are you coming into town? When are you coming
Yeah,
in?
I fly in tomorrow actually. Flying
Uh-oh.
tomorrow to Philly and I'm gonna fight on Saturday. So
Weigh-ins on
Fight
Friday.
yeah,
Saturday.
weigh-ins on Friday.
Okay, yeah. Maybe tomorrow is Thursday.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's
Right.
Thursday.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Thursday.
Maybe we get together, man. And Bozy and Boots, they're good friends of ours, man.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Nice.
if you want, you come in town, I'll meet you somewhere. We can take a ride to their gym, man, and
Sounds great.
introduce you to one of the guys over there. So
Okay.
we got a good camp. Yeah, they got a nice little camp over there right now.
Get to
That's
see the
what's up.
belts. Yeah,
Hopefully get to see the belts too. Yeah.
get to see the belts.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. We'll wrap this up as we always do. James, Tony, take it away.
Yo, this is James Lights Out Tony, the one and only. You are tuning into Philly Fight World. You see me? Bam!